Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hey bro, how are you?
What's up, bro? Just another day, another week. Feeling good, man. Top of the league. It's starting to get real. I'll say that much. That's what I've been telling people. Like it's starting to feel real. We're running out of games. The finish line is starting. Like you're starting to see it in the distance. You know what I mean? It's a little scary, a little exciting. But living in the moment, man. It's been fun, right?
Yeah, bro, it's been an amazing season. It's really special times for us. And the performance against Fulham, that was outstanding. I was saying to you in last week's show that we won a nice, comfortable win. And after what we went through in that Bournemouth game, heart was pounding through most of that game, especially that second half. We wanted a game where it's going to be much more comfortable, get an early goal, cruise through a win, and we done that. It was a brilliant performance. Started so well, got that early goal, got the second goal soon after, and then by half time it was 3-0 game done. Really dominant performance. What were your thoughts on the game?
And you were the confident one, man. You were the one saying, "Nah, we're gonna go in there and smash them." I was nervous just because it's been tight these past few weeks. Like all the games have been, scary, close. Um, so I'll tell you what, man, I was so pleasantly surprised or pleased that we came out and played the way we did. Um, even after that first goal was ruled offside by like the smallest of margins. And like I'll sidetrack a little bit and say, like, if you have to spend that much time like zooming in and just the clear and obvious part of the statement just becomes irrelevant to me anyways. So even after we got ruled offsides, I was real confident that we were gonna keep it going because like we came out the gate flying and dominating. So it wasn't this sense of, oh, here we go again, like it's gonna be one of those long days. Like I even said out loud, I was like, it's all right, because we got all excited, and then of course we got let down when they called it offside. But I just remember saying out loud, like, it's okay, man, like we're gonna score again. We'll do this celebrating all over again. And sure enough, like 5 minutes later, man, Gabriel on the cross. I think it was one of those sequences where we ended up with like three straight crosses in a row. We dominated, man, and it was good. And Leandro Trossard, what a signing, bro! Like I think in hindsight is always 2020, but it's almost like we did better by missing out on Mudryk. And I'm sure over the long run, I have a good feeling about that Mudryk kid. I think he's going to be nice in the Premier League, and I think he's going to have a nice career. But I think at least for the time being, especially if we go on to do the thing and finish off where we want to finish off, like I think it was almost a blessing in disguise that we didn't get him, bro. And like Leandro Trossard has been absolutely incredible. It almost feels like he's been an Arsenal player for the whole year. He's come in, hasn't missed a beat, just perfectly fits in with what he needs to do. And I mean, a hat trick of assists, absolutely incredible. We could have been up 6-0, 7-0, man. It was just one of those games. It felt real good. Um, we were up 3-0 at the break, and then like the second half, they never really threatened, and we just played really good football. I think like we dominated possession. We still had some chances. Like I said, we should have been up 6-0, but even then, like it didn't feel bad that we weren't. You might start feeling like we need to get a little greedy because of that goal differential between us and City. Like they still got the advantage on that, but like there we can chip away at that. And so we did that. We did so with the 3-0, and we could have been 4-0, 5-0 up, but I'm still gonna take this win, and it was absolutely just a perfect performance. Everybody did their thing, and then the substitutions too, man. Like everybody that got subbed in, I felt did their job. Like Kieran Tierney did well. Reese Nelson did a job. Like Gabriel Jesus, good to see that guy back. Fabio Vieira did something. He was in there, looked good. I'm starting to enjoy him. He's starting to look better every a little bit by bit. And then Tomiyasu, like I said, I think Tomiyasu has kind of had a struggled season this year. Not his best season. I mean, he's only been here for what almost 2 years, but I think this has been a little bit of a struggle season. But I'm still happy that he's getting his place in the team. Still getting chances. Um, and you could just see, he puts in the work. So overall, just a great performance, man. Something we needed. Like we needed one of these like emphatic, dominating wins. Yeah, man, it was great.
Yeah, bro. Perfect game for so many reasons, as you said. It was great to see Gabriel Jesus back. Trossard, as you mentioned as well, hat-trick of assists, brilliant. And Odegaard scoring meant, I don't know if you saw that stat, but we got 3 players with over 10 goals in the Premier League this season. Only team that's got that. And it's great, just where we're sharing that with goals. It's just such a great team effort from us. The pressure was on, City had closed the gap down to 2 points, and we showed no signs of nerves or pressure like many times this season when we've had chances to capitalize on City dropping points or them closing the gap on us. We had that little blip against Everton, Brentford, and that City game, but we've bounced back so well from that now. 5 straight wins. It's looking good, bro. Before we talk more about the Premier League, we're going to go back to Europa League. So since we've done our last show, we had that Europa League game before this Fulham game. Finished 2-2. It was a tight game. We know Sporting that a decent team at their ground. It was always going to be a difficult game. We went with a strong team, made a few changes, but ended 2-2. Decent result for us. Got them back here now for the second leg. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, it's that I guess that paradox or conundrum or whatever kind of phrase you want to use. But I mean, I think we've got a strong bench, and if we go with our strong, with our top 11, our bench looks amazing. But when we do a ton of rotation, you can kind of see that our bench, we still got a lot of work to do, right? Um, because I think we did like 6 changes. I thought Turner, our goalie, struggled a little bit, just kind of asserting himself. Um, we saw Jaco Kivior in there for the first time. I think he had a really poor outing, but all things considered, like it was, I'm not gonna like bury the kid right away. Like he had a poor outing, but it was his first one, right? First game away from home, brand new team. It's been a while since he's actually played. Um, so I mean, it was a rough game, but I don't think it's like the end of the world or nothing he needs to hang his head on. Like, he still, I believe, should get some more chances before the season's over. Um, Great look for Saliba to get a goal. Um, and I thought Vieira had a pretty solid outing as well. He got himself an assist. Jorginho, I know he didn't look great, but again, he's our backup guy. I mean, he's good in spots. I just didn't think he had like the best of games. I just think overall we struggled a little bit. Saka looked a little tired. He kind of looked tired at Fulham as well. So I'm kind of hoping like maybe we can see about maybe giving him a rest. Maybe not necessarily like benching him, but maybe taking him out early. Especially if we can get ahead early. Or maybe even him not even playing or not even starting tomorrow or Thursday, and then just kind of coming off the bench if we need to change of pace. But yeah, it's just overall, I thought it was. I mean, we had chances to win. All things said, right? Like we rotated like 6 guys out, and we still fell behind and responded by drawing and had chances to win, right? Like I think we even had a couple of goals that were called off sides. Like we're just, as much as I'm negatively talking about how not good we looked, we still look good, man. And I mean, like we're a relentless team. Um, Sporting is a good team, right? Credit to them. Like they're a strong side. I think they're still top 4 in the Portuguese Premier League. So um, I'm not gonna like it's not gonna break my heart if we fall out of Europa League. But that's not to say that I'm kind of rooting for us to lose. Like I still want us to win every game and us continue to stay in on a good rhythm. And I think um, that was we deserved a draw, right? Well, I'll say that. Like we didn't deserve to lose. We didn't deserve to win outright, even though we did have a lot of good chances. We got the result we deserved, and so we bring it back to the Emirates where we just need to win 1-0, and that would be good enough, right? Like there's no away goal thing or anything like that. So um, yeah, just it's good to just keep going, right? Just keep it going. I'm enjoying, and I'm sure the players enjoy it too. But I like the games coming quick and fast because then you can just kind of like move on from the next one and just continue building. And yeah, I thought it was a good solid week of games. Since the last time we talked. Would have been nice to have 2 wins, but a win and a draw where we look pretty solid in the draw anyway. I'll take that as a solid week.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And confident we'll beat them here. It is our next game now, so let's talk about that one.
Hmm.
Got a great record here at home, and pretty sure Arteta's going to go with a strong team. We saw him do that in the away leg. We know we've got a big game on the weekend against Crystal Palace just a couple of days later, but like to go with a very strong team. As you said, the depth of squad now we have as well, we can make them changes and still put a very good team out there. So what's your thoughts on the second leg now?
The second leg. Well, here's a couple good things for us. Two of their guys are suspended. Their captain, Coates, and Morita, the Japanese guy who's playing for them. They both suspended because of accumulation of yellow cards. So they're going to be short some of their starters. So that's good for us. Um, I think we'll especially go strong in the back end. I think we'll get Ramsdale to go back in there, um, and then maybe just go with our big center backs, Gabby and Saliba, to go back there. We'd like to see someone like Tierney go in there and play some, and kind of back and forth with some conversation with some buddies of mine about would we like to see Gabriel Jesus start? I'm on the side, like, I don't want him to start just yet. I thought 15 minutes or 17, whatever he got against Fulham was a perfect amount of time. Like, I think maybe we double that and he gets like 30 minutes. So I say we bring him on like at the hour mark or something like that. Kind of like we did with Smith Rowe when he was starting to come back a little bit. Maybe we see someone like Smith Rowe starting again. Reese Nelson, I think, deserves to get another shot. Maybe um, in place of Saka. But yeah, I think Trossard, Reese Nelson, Martinelli up top. Maybe we could see like Fabio Vieira and Emil Smith Rowe in the midfield, along with like Thomas Partey, um, and then a strong back line. And then, or you know what, we can even start Jorginho and go half and half with him and Thomas Partey, right? 45 minutes each to kind of save their legs. But I think we go big up center with our big center backs to just really tighten up defensively. And as much as I love Turner, that's my boy, USA. I kind of want to see Ramsdale in there to kind of just seal the deal at home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah, difficult for Turner. It doesn't get much game time. I mean, he's coming in, getting the games in the Europa League, still new to the club as well, first season. So, he's showing signs of being a really good player. I remember seeing him playing for you guys
Yeah.
World Cup and he looked good. So yeah, hopefully he will develop and get better and better. But yeah, it's a good shout maybe for this league. That bit of extra security we'll have by having Ramsdale in goal. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what lineup we do go with. What's your correct score prediction?
I'll even take back a little bit. I wouldn't mind either seeing him again and and letting Ramsdale get another rest. And then just kind of again, I think if we have a stronger back four, I think that helps overall with Turner. So maybe I'll take it back and say, it'd be nice to see Turner get another shot. Um, I said 1-0 is good enough to win, but I think with their guys out, they got two guys out and dangerous guys. Um, I'm gonna say we win handedly and win 2-0. I'll say 2-0. Not ready to go 3-0 yet, but like I think 2-0 is good. 2-0 is good enough. We just need one, and then just park the bus, maybe play some rough holding. But I'll say we got 2-0, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 2-0. I think we'll be quite comfortable. Our record here has been amazing this season, and I think we're worth too much for Sporting. So back to the Premier League now, then, bro. Before we talk about our next game against Crystal Palace, let's talk about the overall picture. Then, so as we're saying, City did win before us, closed the gap down to 2 points. They were lucky in that game, though. I saw that game, and I was thinking Crystal Palace have got a great chance here to hold out for a 0-0, and then they gave away that real clumsy, you would say, penalty because just like it was really rash and he panicked. I know City took this short corner, quick corner, caught him off guard a little bit, but the defender for Crystal Palace made a big mistake there, gave away the penalty, they
You
scored it.
cannot do that. Yeah, it was bad, bad.
Only 11 minutes to go, it's like, oh, it looked like they could hold out. So City were lucky in that one. But talking of City, just just speaking before we started recording this, their current score at the moment in the Champions League is 6-0. I mean, watching this game as well before we recorded, and like, oh, they look amazing. They are a very, very strong team, and they're showing it here in this Champions League game. Leipzig are a decent team, and they've just ripped them to shreds. Haaland's got 5 goals. It could be that they are distracted with the Champions League. It is their main focus, which would obviously play to our advantage. We've got a chance against Crystal Palace to make it 8 points. City don't play this weekend as well because they're in the FA Cup. So we're in a great position, and against a great team like this as well, it's amazing for us to be ahead of them by 5 points. What's your thoughts on the overall title picture now?
Yeah, yeah. As I've said, as I said for a long time, I really have only been caring about Champions League and just getting that magic number to secure Champions League because that was our goal at the beginning, and that still remains my goal, at least in my head. I know the players have started to believe. I know fans have started to believe. I'm starting to believe. So I'll say that much. Like I'm starting to see it. I even told my friend, like after the Bournemouth game, after the Fulham game, after the Bournemouth game where, oh shit, like we went from down 2-0 and that whole emotional roller coaster. And then, like I said, going into this Fulham match, I was worried, man. I was legitimately worried because I was like, Fulham are a good side. They're at home. They play hard. Like they're just a difficult, and not everybody. Like it's hard. It's been hard for the Big Six to get points at Fulham at Craven Cottage, and we just went in there and absolutely battered them, man. And it was just incredible to see. And I texted my friend afterwards, like, okay, I'm starting to believe. So like, I don't know how well that bodes. In my experience, rooting for teams in sports and watching, like, I've seen plenty of championship runs for my teams to like know when like you can kind of start seeing like it's starting to be something real, and now I'm starting to see it. And maybe I've just been ignoring it, right? And now I'm starting to like embrace it. Like, hey, man, we've got a shot. Like we have a lot of difficult games coming up, uh, but as we've talked about, like Manchester City do as well. And on top of that, their biggest thing has been Champions League. Like they signed Erling Haaland to win Champions League. And he's doing exactly what they signed him to do, right? Score goals. And I mean, he's doing it well for the league, but they're not necessarily like dumb. I mean, they've been trailing us the whole time. And you get the sense that, whenever Pep is interviewed and he likes to play a lot of mind games, you get this sense that, he's not necessarily not saying he's not focused on the Premier League, but I think the big thing they want to win is Champions League. And I might just be extrapolating based off stuff that I read of him say, but and part of it is probably also me hoping too. But I have this hope in my brain and this thought in my brain, like I'm hoping that City are prioritizing Champions League over the Premier League just because they feel like this is their shot, and like if they can just cruise control into winning the Premier League, then they'll do that. But if they try to do that against a team like us and the way we're playing, like they might miss out. So I think that plays to our advantage as well. You know, even though we are top of the league this whole time, we're still being treated as like the David in the David versus Goliath story. You know what I mean? So I think that works well for both teams, and that works well for us. Like it's the us against them type of thing. So I guess to go back to your initial question, like what do I think about the title race. I don't think it's our title to lose, meaning like I don't think we're necessarily the favorite yet. But I do think we're in the mix, and I'm ready to say it's a two-horse race between us and Manchester City, and it could go either way. But we're looking good, and I like our chances. And if I was a betting man, I would probably put money down on us winning. But I'm not a betting man, so I'm just going to watch and enjoy the moment because it's been incredible. Um, Either way, whatever happens, you can almost assuredly say that Champions League is going to come up next year for us, which is an incredible accomplishment and something we wanted at the beginning of the year. Um, and that this title run has been a joy so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 11 games bring. But ultimately, we're responding to every challenge, right? Like when City close the gap, we respond. When City drop points, we seem to respond every time. Anytime we have a bad performance or like a disappointing run, like we've responded, right? And our worst run so far was that Everton, Brentford, and then City run, and then we've turned it around, and now we've gone five straight, right? So, and we could still continue to keep that run going a little bit. So we've responded at every challenge, and this is such a great team to watch, and yeah, I'm looking forward to what the next 11 games brings for us.
Yeah, bro, me too. It's exciting times. Next game now is Crystal Palace. Difficult team. We've struggled with them a little bit in the past. We saw them play really well against Man City like in their last game, and I saw them recently play against Liverpool, and they done well in that one. They got a 0-0 draw. They're a hard team to break down defensively. They are strong. They do struggle though in terms of scoring goals. That's been their big Achilles heel this season. But I'm expecting they're going to come, look to defend, keep it tight, and that low block again. It's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, man. Last year, they beat us 3-0 at their place. We beat them 2-0 to start the year. So we got over that hump. They drew us at the Emirates. So we should be able to, again, that's a little bit part of that revenge story I've always been looking at the whole year, where we drop points and we turn it around and getting points this time around. And that's been the big difference so far. Um, I feel like we can beat them the way that we're playing um, pretty handedly. And I'm going to say 3-0. Not all three goals in the first half. I think it might be tight in the first half, like 1-0. I think we might squeak one in before the break. But then the second half is ours, and we just kind of put it to rest, man, and go off on the international break, feeling good about ourselves and moving on.
Yeah, bro, it's huge. If we can go 8 points clear, I know we'll have that game in hand, but psychologically, it'll be amazing, and it'll put a lot of pressure on them because their next league game after the international break is Liverpool at home, the early kickoff on the Saturday. So that'll put a lot of pressure on them, knowing they're 8 points behind us. So it'll be a must-win for them. And Liverpool are a good team who on their day can go there and beat them. So yeah, bro, it's a vital game. I'm going comfortable win as well. I think it will be 3-0 to our crit score. Agree with you on that one. I was close last week. I said 3-1, didn't I?
Yeah, you said 3-1.
Yeah, that was another stat as well. 6 London derbies, won straight, all 6 of them with clean sheets. That's
Yep, that's a
amazing.
good one.
Stat. This is another London derby coming up now on Sunday. So let's hope it's going to be another comfortable win with a clean sheet, and we go into that international break 8 points clear. So before we do this, some correct score predictions for you for some of the other key fixtures this weekend. So I wanted to talk to you about the awards that are given out yesterday with Saka winning Young Player of the Year again. Deservedly so. He's a superstar. He's getting better and better.
Yeah, man, we need him to sign the thing right already. Like, I mean, I know it takes a long time and all that good stuff, but I'm excited to hear the news that he's gonna stay. This is his club, this is his family. Yeah, it was great. We did a clean sweep, right? Bukayo Saka won, Odegaard won, Ramsdale won, and the gap and the coach won. So we just did a clean sweep of the London Awards. They all looked sharp and just did their thing. But yeah, back to Bukayo Saka, man. Love that kid so much. Um, I do think he needs a rest. I want him to get a rest. He deserves a rest. But then at the same time, we already know what Arteta's philosophy is on that. Like, we want the best players to play all the games. Um, so I also wouldn't be surprised or disappointed to see him in the starting lineup again. But maybe he doesn't play the whole game because, of course, we've got that bench going. So yeah, we'll see, man. But it's great. He's got 10 goals, but you know what? He deserves two more because two of those goals were own goals, where he just basically did all the work, put all the pressure on the defenders. One against Palace to start the year, one against Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Hugo Lloris. Um, so he should be like our outright leading scorer right now. But yeah, just an absolutely incredible season. And I don't think he's done yet, man. I think he's still got some brilliance in him left, especially as we have a couple of massive games coming up, and I think he's going to come up big for us, and I can't wait to see it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's really exciting, and we're talking about like the pressure, but they've lived up to it so far. It's only going to get more intense, but we've answered every call, so we have every reason to believe that a guy like him is going to answer every single call as well, because he's done it even when even when he had that rough Euro. I mean, he had a great Euro, had that rough moment, and has done nothing but just absolutely destroy every obstacle in his path, man. So I'm excited, man. Excited for him.
Yeah, bro. He's still so young. Just gonna get better and better. Got to get him to sign a super long-term contract. Hopefully, we'll get that done really soon.
500 million pound release clause, whatever
Yeah,
it takes. Keep him.
for sure. For sure. I was saying that the sale of Mudryk, 100 million. I was saying so if Mudryk, who like, all right, he's shown some potential, but he's not really a superstar. Like Ray Saka is. Saka's done a hell of a lot more. Saka's done it on a bigger stage as well in the World Cup, showing what a great player he is. So if Mudryk's worth 100 million, what is Saka worth? 500 million? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
so yeah, man, we got to get it tied down to that long-term contract real soon. So yeah, to finish with, let's do some quick score predictions then for the weekend. So Southampton are playing Tottenham.
Oh, yeah. Southampton, to my delight, played United to a 0-0 draw. Ever since the United came out and said, "Hey, we're challenging for the title," every drop point has felt so much more sweeter, bro. Like, it's gotten personal at this point. So, kudos to Southampton, by the way, for doing that. Tottenham are actually starting to look a little bit better. You know, it's not saying much. The bar has been set really low for them over the way they've been playing the whole year. Still astonished that they're still in fourth place, right? Um, I think they're going to have another good one this time around again. I'm going to say Southampton drop to Tottenham 2-0. But that's not to say Southampton played. They impressed me, man. I watched the replay of that game, and they had chances to win, but they're bottom of the table for a reason. So I'm gonna just pick Tottenham to win 2-0.
Okay. Chelsea versus Everton.
Hoo-hoo. Chelsea, much to my disappointment, have also looked really good, right? I think they have the way it all worked out. They ended up now with like 3 straight wins, 2 in the Premier League, 1 in Champions League against Borussia Dortmund. Um, so they're looking a little bit better, feeling a little bit better about themselves. But Everton, it's kind of hard to predict where how they're looking. They've won 2 of the past 5. They drew 2-2 against Forest, lost to us and Villa. fighting for the relegation spot. If you look at the table, someone made a comment recently on like the most recent one of the podcasts I listened to that like covers all the Premier League. Like, if you look at the table right now, this is actually like a perfect table because we've got a 2-horse race, and then we've got from third place down to um we'll say like maybe eighth, but like it's really third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place where Liverpool's at with 42. But Brighton have 39 points, Fulham have 39 points. So you're thinking maybe all the way down to Fulham are fighting for like Europa League spots as well, right? And Europa Conference or whatever. So Brentford is right there too. Chelsea and Villa and maybe Palace are like the true like mid-level teams or the mid-table teams. Maybe we might see Chelsea make some kind of run to get to try and fight to get into like a Europa League spot because I think they've already like fallen way far behind to like really fight for Champions League spot. They're gonna have to just like literally win the Champions League, which I don't think is gonna happen. And then we have from even you know what, I even include Crystal Palace in that, right? Not necessarily Crystal Palace in the Europe spots, but in the relegation, man. Like Crystal Palace on down, 12th spot all the way down to 20th is separated by 5 points. Everton have kind of put themselves in the mix. A few weeks ago, they looked absolutely horrible and like almost like, nah, they're getting relegated for sure. But I think the relegation battle has opened up and become really exciting. And all these teams, I mean, you see Bournemouth, right? Bournemouth were, you know, like 20, 30 minutes away from in 1 week beating Arsenal and Liverpool in 1 week. Like, my God. And they're 18th in the table right now. Leeds have been fighting fighting as well. Southampton, bottom of the table, but went 0-0 against United. So all that to say, like, yeah, these games against the bottom of the table are not easy. They're not gimmies, especially now. You know, as we're fighting for a title, they're fighting to stay up. I think Everton is looking a little bit better as of late. Um, and yeah, all that to say that I think I really want Everton to beat Chelsea. And I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea, just because I'm now actively rooting against Chelsea Football Club, kind of like I'm rooting against United. And I want them both to just like drop as many points as possible because it just feels good and I enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Everton.
Okay, and then let's do some predictions for the FA Cup. Man City are playing against Burnley.
Burnley have got the former Man City guy, right? Manager for their team. They're playing like really exciting football in the championship. I don't watch the championship, but I do know Burnley is favorites to go back into the Premier League after like a couple years absence. City, man, I don't know what kind of lineup they go with, especially this late into the FA Cup run. But I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's going to be a difficult match for Burnley, regardless, right? Just because City is so stacked. I will say, do you know if they play uh second round? Like, do they play a second round if they draw, or they go straight to like penalties
I'm not
for
sure
this
at
one?
this stage now. I think it's going straight to penalties.
Straight
I
to
think,
penalties,
what is court? Is it quarterfinals yet?
quarterfinal. Yeah, it's quarterfinals. So if they do, I
But
think they play to a draw. I think they play close, right? Because I think um Vincent Company, I think, is the manager for Burnley. So it's his former squad, right? He's a legend apparently at City, and I think he's going to have his boys up for it. FA Cup, the magic of the FA Cup that they like to say. Um, so I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off the win, but I think they take it to penalties, and then if they take it to penalties, um, sadly, I think City will end up winning. So my prediction, I'm going to say 2-2, go to penalties, and then I think City win on penalties.
so yeah, one more FA Cup prediction. Man United are playing against Fulham.
Oh, yeah, Fulham. I think Fulham is going to bounce back and beat Man United. I'm going to say 2-1. As I mentioned earlier, like I'm really taking a personal interest in Chelsea and Manchester United failing, just because I hate Chelsea, especially after the way their American owner is just completely embarrassing us. And for United, on the United side, I just ever since they declared themselves in the title run, it's just been all kind of disappointing results for them, at least. I've enjoyed it. So I'm kind of rooting for them to fall out of this FA Cup competition as well. They were talking about doing a quadruple at some point. Maybe not seriously, maybe not on your end, but like I know friends of mine were talking about that shit, and I was just like, get out of here, bro. So I want to see them lose again. Again, I still think Fulham are a very good side. They play teams very difficult, regardless of where they play. Um, I just think we're also just a high flying side as well too, and so we just took it to them. Interesting stat about Fulham. I think I mentioned to you, but they do give up the highest XG rating against them. So teams get really good chances against them, but they do have a good, solid goalie, and some of their defenders play really well at times. They got Tim Ream, the American back there. Um, so yeah, but they hit people on the counter. So I think if they could just withstand the early United flurry, and United is not going to be the same guy with or the same team without Casemiro. I don't know. I think he misses out on the FA Cup final. I'm not 200% sure. If he plays, it'll be a little bit of a closer game, I think. But if he's out, United just look lost without him, and I think Fulham have a real good chance. So I'm gonna just give them the. I'm gonna say that they win 2-1, and I'm gonna be very happy.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. It's great to see them struggling. What you were saying about their fans getting really excited. I remember, I think it was before they had a game before they played us. I think it was Palace. Pretty sure it was Palace.
Yeah.
And they messed that one up. They didn't get the win there. Then when we beat them and like just made a big gap. But we were talking like if they beat Palace and they beat us, they'll be right behind us and like they're coming for us and this and that, and they're miles away and not a threat at all to us. So it's great to see them struggling. But we've got to give them some credit. They have done well, coming back from the start they had at the start of the season, the whole situation with Cristiano Ronaldo, but they're not at our level yet. Long way to go for them. I was looking at a stat when you look at the points gap between us and all the other teams apart from City, and it was amazing when you see the lead we have on some of the teams below us. And some of these teams we were competing with, like for the Champions League just last season.
Hmm.
You look at now, 1 year on, we've just stepped it up to a different level, complete different level, and these teams are far behind. So I'll just quickly read it off to you, right? 29 points to Chelsea, 24 points to Liverpool. We finished behind both of them two last year. 18 points by Tottenham. As we know, we just finished behind them. Don't want to think about that. But 18 points we got on them now, right? And 16 points on Man United. We did finish ahead of them last year. But if you look at them points gaps, that's massive. And it just shows you the progress we've made. It's been amazing.
Oh yeah, man. 16 points ahead of third place, Manchester United, right? Yeah. We're just destroying teams. And then it's a massive gap between us and Chelsea and all that. And a lot of folks are really trying to say that we're taking advantage of teams not being good and all this nonsense. And that's not the case, because I think I even saw a stat like um, even City's run of they've won like what, four of the last five titles or whatever, and like 66 points after 27 games. We've matched basically one of their runs, right? So it's like we're not getting lucky because other teams are trash. Like, we're beating all the other teams, and we're just much better right now. We're playing much better. We're a young side. We're exciting. We're playing good football. Um, you could say that, oh, yeah, nobody expected it, right? So we're just kind of coming out of nowhere. But this is not some kind of flash in the pants thing where everybody's having a down year and somebody has to win the title. Like, I think that's nonsense. I think we're really showing ourselves to be a really strong side, and I think it shows by just, yeah, as you said, like something like, yeah, putting it in perspective where everybody was, or where we were compared with everybody else fighting for top four, and now right now it's just like not even a comparison right now. I also saw another stat, how you just random ways you can put into perspective how much better we're doing. But like, I think this was the case like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But I think the stat was Arsenal could not get, like, they can go the rest of the games without getting a single point, and Chelsea could go at the same rate or even like win some, and they would still finish behind us. And this was like maybe like 3 weeks ago or something. Like some ridiculous like thing just to kind of put it in perspective of like how far ahead we are. So yeah, it's incredible to see, man. Yeah, like I said before, it's truly a two-horse race. I believe that now. Um, yeah, can't wait for everything to play out, man. It's a dream. All you want to see is all you want as a sports fan is your team compete for titles, or at least compete for something, right? And so to see them compete right now is it's just fun, right? I'm just living in the moment right now, and not only enjoying us doing well, but enjoying other teams failing, right? Because on the flip side of the coin, yes, every single team is going to try and do better, right? And they're going to improve. And Liverpool's not going to be like this forever. And Chelsea, the standards that they've set, they're gonna they're gonna do everything in their power to bounce back. And same thing with United, right? Like they have a plan, they have a long term plan. So um, it's not going to be like this. Maybe say next year. It's like so like yes, teams are gonna reload and come at because and come at the top because everybody does want to win. It's there's 20 teams every year and only one team can win. Um, but we're doing the best right now, and like you can't. I don't understand how you can pick apart a team that's top of the league and so far ahead of everybody else and say, oh, you're only doing it because this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, that's out of their control. It's not our fault that Chelsea are shit. Like do better, right? Like step up, play better, like get points, score goals. Like just because Arsenal's doing everything that they're supposed to do, like it's supposed to be some kind of detriment or some kind of like, oh well, nah, it doesn't count. Like, nah, man, like it's not like we're getting lucky. Like we're grinding out wins and we're doing well. So I don't know. It's cool to see, man. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, bro, me too. And just I think about next season, yeah, all right, teams will get better, but we're gonna get better too. We got a very young team, and if we can win the league, the confidence we're gonna take from that, winning the league, qualifying for the Champions League as well will mean a lot more money. So we're gonna be able to invest in the team, and we'll be stronger next year as well. So yeah, bro, but we just got to concentrate on this now, game by game. It's Palace next. I hope when I see you on the next week's show, we're talking about 2 more wins against Sporting Lisbon and Palace. Thanks, bro.
My pleasure, man. Looking forward to it. Yeah, come on, you Gunners. Let's go into the international break feeling good about ourselves and, you know, balancing the sadness of having no football for 2 weeks with the excitement, like we're ready for the rest of it. So let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, come on, Arsenal. Let's go. 8 points clear. So that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.